Well, now that you know about REITs and ETFs and investing for retirement, what's next? Still wondering how to get started or how much you should get started investing with? By the end of this video, I'm going to give you a simple action plan to start investing today. Welcome again to the channel. Thank you for joining for another episode of Living Each Day on Purpose as we continue our series, How Retirees Can Confidently Invest for Retirement Safely and with Minimal Risk. I hope you have been enjoying the series and you've been tuning in regularly, or at least going back and watching the archives, uh, because I've got some things that I'm going to be sharing with you today as well, as we look at a couple more things in this series. And I'm going to give you some guidance, just a little bit more guidance here today as we work on a few things here as we wrap up this last lesson in this series. And I've got a brand new series that I'm going to be working on coming up here next week for you as well, to keep some things going so I can tie in your purpose and your passion with your profit, so that you can start working on your life plan for this phase of your life. If you're entering retirement or preparing for retirement, or if you're already in retirement and you're looking to supplement your income. So you've heard it said time and time again, I know I have pretty much all my life, that knowledge is power. However, action is what builds wealth. It's not just having the information, it's not just having the knowledge, it's about taking the action that you need in order to start building the wealth that you want to have later on in life. And today I'm going to give you a simple step-by-step guide or plan to start investing, how you can just get started today, because I don't want you to wait any longer. Your future self is going to thank you, trust me, if you begin and get started today. Um, I oftentimes think about if I had just really stuck with it many years ago when I had started out and kept going, I'd probably be a whole lot further along than I am. But I don't play the regret game. I don't play the, woulda, shoulda, coulda game. And I don't want you to do that either, because it's never too late. You can get started right now, here today. And if you're consistent and you work diligently, you'll be surprised how quickly you can start catching up to where you need to be and where you desire and want to be. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'll give you a step-by-step investment plan where you can get started right here today. Step number one, you've got to start by opening your brokerage account. That's the first thing that you got to do. You got to start and open a brokerage account. You can use Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab. There's many companies out there that you can use to open that. So the main thing is to go ahead and open your brokerage account, because that is what you need. Whether it's a 401k, whether it's a Roth IRA. I recommend a Roth IRA if you don't already have a 401k from a previous employment or previous employer that you're putting continual money into or is growing. You want to set up your own investment account or your own brokerage account. I suggest that you set up at least two. One is your Roth IRA, and then you set up an independent brokerage account. We can talk a little bit more about the differences in those a little later. If you got questions, you can let me know. And once you set that up, it's just not a matter of just setting that up and it's just sitting there. You actually have to fund it, which means set up your deposits on automatic. Just have it coming out of your account every week, every month, twice a month, however you need it, however you think you get paid or however you like. It doesn't matter. And as I said before, you start off as small as $25, $50, $100, whatever you are comfortable with. Well, go ahead and open up your brokerage account and then fund it. Go ahead and set your automatic deposits to start depositing those amounts into that account. And once you do that, you're now ready to go ahead and actually make your first trade. You can go ahead and make your first trade, and I suggest you to buy your first ETF. And you can start off with an ETF such as VTI, VOO, SCHD. Fidelity have a FBCG, sorry, which is, all of these are total stock market ETFs, which means they're going to invest you initially in the total stock market. So if you don't want to just, pick up individual stocks here and there, you want to get some growth funds, you want to get some ETF funds that's going to be paying you dividends, you can go into these what's called total stock market funds because they invest in 50 to 100 or more companies, up to 500 companies, many of them have in them, that you can diversify your portfolio by being invested in them. So you don't just have to go out and get you a share of Microsoft, or go out and get you a share of Amazon, or go out and get you a share, you know, of Meta. You can go ahead and go into one of these ETFs, and they are already invested in hundreds of these companies already, and you can start off already getting the gains from these companies. I also suggest that while you're doing this, that you invest whatever you can afford starting out. As I said before, I started out with $25 a month in one of my accounts, moved that up to $50, then $100, then I increase it every $50 every month, a couple months, until I get to a place to where I can just invest several $100s into one of these particular funds. You can do the same thing. The main thing is to just get started. Open that brokerage account, then go ahead and fund it, and then go ahead and place your first trade in one of these particular funds. And as I said before, even if you start off with something small as $25, you'd be surprised. You can buy many stocks, even in some of these growth funds. You can buy a partial share, even if you can't buy a complete full share, because it may cost a little bit more than your initial investment. You can buy a partial share as well. And if you open up with I like Fidelity because I like their app, and if I'm on the go and I see something, or if I want to move some money around, or I want to make a quick investment, I can do that easily in the app. And I can buy a fractional share if I see something that I really like and I want to add some more money to it. You can do the same. I would also suggest that you look at, as I said before, ETFs, because we're talking about dividend income now, gaining money every month. I have a email that I send out, a couple times a week. And if you want to sign up for that, you can. And I send a lot of these tips out in email as well. And in one of them, I have something that I call PIE, P-I-E, and it's called Passive Income Every Month. Call it PIE. Good, because I like passive income every month. So I like the PIE method. So I invest in ETFs and growth funds that give me passive income every month. Even if I do it on a quarterly basis, I spread it out so that at least my money is coming in every month, and you can do the same. All right, step number 3. Let's keep it moving. So hopefully you got the first 2 steps down. You've written them down. They'll be on there. Add a REIT for some passive income. I also like real estate investment trusts. That's what REITs are. REITs are real estate investment trusts, where you can own real estate without being a landlord. You don't have to worry about property management and maintenance and headaches and all of that kind of stuff, but you can still own real estate. You can own commercial real estate. You can own, residential care. You can own pieces of hospitals. You can own warehouses. All types of real estates are invest in these REITs, and they have them available in these REITs. And some of the ones that I like is VNHQ, which is Vanguard's real estate ETF. And then I like Realty Income. And I have a couple others that I like as well that I invest in. But these will pay you on a quarterly basis, passive income. And as I said before, you can still buy a fractional share of these. I think Realty Income is around about $50 a month. Vanguard VNHQ is 100 and something dollars, but you can buy a portion of that if you can't buy the whole share, if you're not making $100 or $150 investment at one time and you're only doing 25 or 50, you can still buy a fractional share in that. And 2 fractional shares at 25 bucks gets you to the 50 buck full share. So don't wink at the small amount. Again, if you're just getting started and you have some fears, you have some reservations, you have some hesitations, it's really about letting your money begin to get started for you so that it can start working for you and you can start seeing some returns on those investments. All right. So it doesn't matter the amount that you begin with. What matters is that you do begin. Okay. And REIT dividends help supplement your retirement income as well as ETFs. These are dividend paying stocks that are going to supplement your income. Couple $100 a month, couple $1,000 a month as you begin to grow your shares and you buy more shares and you make more investment. You'll be surprised how that dividend income comes in. Just met with my fiduciary the other day. I think it was last week. I had a meeting just to go over some of the dividend stocks. He made a couple investments on some new things that we want to diversify into that going to begin. But he said you guys are doing really well. You got stocks paying you $200 in dividends, some paying you $150 in dividends, some paying you $90 in dividends, some paying you, $300 in dividends. But as you grow your portfolio and you diversify, you start seeing that dividend income increase. And so we're right now currently at about $1,500, almost $2,000 a month in dividend income. And we're growing that consistently. And we're working toward getting, my goal is to have at least $10,000 in dividend income coming in every single month. And that's doable. And you can start off where you need to start off and then grow from there. Okay. And the final step. Finally, I want to encourage you that once you begin and that you do begin, is that you remain consistent. This is the key. This is the key. Remember, investing is a long-term game. It's a long-term strategy. It's not a quick overnight get rich quick type of thing. I know there's a lot of people who try to time the market and play the market and make money and try to get it there fast and get it in a hurry. That's really not what wise investors do. Not saying that we don't put some money in there, we gamble with it a little bit on something that's different. But when we're talking about consistent income, it's about staying consistent investing, staying consistent diversifying your portfolio so that you can get income that is also consistent. And staying consistent means you got to ignore the noise. And I know right now there's a lot of noise going on out there about a lot of stuff. People talking about the market's going to crash, we're going into a recession, all of that stuff. And even, let's just say some of that stuff does happen and we hit a recession. The best time in a recession is to buy when things are low because the stock market has always gone down and it will always come back up. But remaining consistent, ignoring the noise, knowing that markets go up, markets go down, but long-term investors are the winners at the end of the day. It is the people who stay the course, stay the race, and continue to remain consistent. They're the ones that come out on the top. And let's just say, as I said, worst case scenario, we go into a recession and they say, oh, the stock market's about to crash. Everything's about to bottom out. Everything's about to hit rock bottom. Well, guess what? Wise investors and long-term investors don't panic. They love that because now they're able to buy more for their dollar at a lower rate. And so when things begin to go back up, guess who wins? That's when millionaires are made. When they buy low and they let it ride out, and when it goes up, that's when the real money is made. So even if the worst thing happens and the market does crash and everything decides to bottom out, don't panic. Reinvest your money, reinvest those dividends, let it grow for you. So when things begin to go up, you begin to see your income go up as well. All right? Listen, you may be saying, what if I don't have a lot of money right now, BA? I want to invest. And then some people have written me and sent me some emails. I've given them some tips and advice and strategies to do that, starting off with small amounts of money. Because they have the question, what if I don't have lots of money right now? Or I don't think I have the money right now to invest. I suggest that you start small and be consistent. This is always, and this is what I've said from the beginning of these trainings. Start small and remain consistent. Listen, that hamburger money that you're wasting, those, potato chip and snack money that you wasted. People say they don't have money, but you have money because you're spending it on other stuff. Take a few of those dollars and put it into an investment and let it grow. Because if you start small and you remain consistent, what begins small doesn't stay small long. It actually begins to multiply and begins to grow. All right? You may be saying, as I said earlier, is this a good time to invest? Because I'm hearing all the noise about what's going to happen and things will crash. If you notice the people who are making wealthy money, the Warren Buffetts, the Bill Gates, the people like that are in the market, you don't hear them panicking. You don't hear them crying wolf. You don't hear them complaining. They're smiling because they're like, if things do go down, I'm going to buy a whole lot of it when it's down because I know it's going to come back up. I believe that there is no better time to invest than starting right now. As I said before, you take advantage of dollar cost averaging, which means if you buy it now and it goes up, you win. If you buy it now and it goes down, you buy more. So the average begins to average out on what you overall pay for that stock. So when the dividends begin to roll in, you begin to get paid on that incline. But now is a good time. The next few weeks, the next few months, the next few years is going to be a good time. It's a perfect time to start, and that is now, and that is today. And finally, you may be wondering, can I do this on my own? Well, sure you can. You can go out here and watch all the videos that they have available out there. You can. You can look up REITs and ETFs. You can make simple investments with them. But I find getting some help, getting some guidance, having some people along with you on the journey helps out a lot. And I'm not on this journey alone. I have a community of people that I work with, I have a community of people that I talk to, that I invest with, that we chat with, that we talk about investments. So it's not a solo thing. You can do this on your own, but it's a lot more fun when you do it with other people because you get to share that knowledge, get to share that experience and learn together. But you can do this. You can take all the videos that I've done in this 6-part series and you've got enough information to go out here and get started on your own and get to moving. But yes, ETFs and REITs, they make investing simple. This is why I love them. You don't need a whole lot of stock market knowledge. You don't need a whole lot of investor knowledge. You don't need a whole lot of, understanding how things work when it comes to the stock market. You just need to know this ETF is paying this. It's a good one. It's one of the aristocrats. It's one of the kings, one of the dividend kings, which means it's been around for 50 years or more and is paying consistently and continues to pay consistently. This is why I'm recommending to you stock symbols that pay regularly and consistently. I have others that I invest in. I have others that I recommend that are doing very well in my portfolio as well. But I like to stick with the main ones, especially when you're just getting started, because I may give you a symbol that you know nothing about and you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure about this. But we do the research, we show you, and we show you that it's a consistent earner and has been for quite a while. Okay, so you can do this, and you can do this starting now. So if you're ready and you're ready to get started, I want you to simply go and sign up for my Unlock Your Freedom webinar and for this roadmap that I've already shared with you, as well as the past 6 weeks. All of that's covered in the VIP course, as well as 3 days of intense everything from setting up your account to funding it, to making your first trade, to growing it, to setting your dividends on autopilot, and to continue to research stocks. I have a whole guide that you'll get free when you register for the VIP course. And in that guide, I break down ETFs and REITs. I give you several options for them. I give you several recommendations. I share with you what we're investing in as a family and as a company. I share with you the best dividend kings that are out there, those that are earning consistently 5, 6, 7, 8, even up to 10 and 12%. My portfolio averages right now 14%. I have some that are 7 and 5. I have some that are 12 and 13. But overall, I'm averaging about 14% annually, which is a great return for me, and I'm loving it. And so I believe something similar can happen for you. Maybe not the same because you're not doing the same things I'm doing, but you can do something similar and you can see gains and increases in your portfolio as well. So I hope this has been helpful. You sign up for the VIP course, and when you do, you get my dividend investment e-guide, which is a starter guide, but it's not a starter guide. It's a beginner's guide, but it is full. It's almost 200 and something pages, and the team is constantly adding things to it as we research and as we learn more and as we make more diversified investments and as we grow our portfolios. We're in this for the long term. We're in this to use dividend income to free up our lifestyle, to travel the world and do some things. And after April, my wife and I will be hitting the road again as we begin to go to some other countries and do some other things. We've established home base here in Panama, and we just celebrated our first year, which has been wonderful and tremendous, and we love it. Now we're looking to go to some other places and spend a few months there as well. And so if this video has been helpful and this series has been helpful, like, comment, and subscribe for more retirement building strategies. And finally, you don't have to live in fear of running out of money. There's plenty of money in the earth and will be for a while. But you start investing today and invest wisely. And then you can live with financial confidence the rest of your days. You can know that you have income coming in to take care of you and your family continually if you set things up the proper way. Final thoughts. During this past 6 weeks, I've enjoyed this series with you. Hope it's given you some information and some guidance to go out and start taking some steps. We put a roadmap together for you on how to overcome and shift your mindset, understanding ETFs and REITs, how to build a simple investment portfolio. I've given you answers to some of the most common questions that have always come up and addressed those for you over the past weeks, as well as giving you today a step-by-step action plan that you can take off running with and get started with right away. And if you need some help and you're ready for some help, reach out to me and I can walk you through the entire process from start to finish, and so that you can begin living the life that you imagine and the life that you dream. All right? So until next time, take care, God bless, and hope to see you on this investment journey. And remember, every dollar not invested today is a dollar not earned tomorrow. Let's get started today. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Take care. God bless. And bye for now.